What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video.
I rep the West to the death, but my life is better. I've shed blood, shed tears, man, I stormed bad weather. I caught an L at 19, that's a cold ass letter. But now I'm back in the world and trying to make it better forever. They counted me out at a young age, but now I'm living proof. I'm in this booth, I'm spitting truth, you see me on the tube. The Dub Show, homies bounce and roll. The Dub Show.
Today I was thinking about all of the violence that's going on in the California Department of Corrections, right? And I wanted to tell you guys a story, again, a personal story. You know, unlike some of these other channels, I can actually talk about my own prison experience, right? And on this one, this goes back to, I believe it was 1995. At the time, I was in 3 Block in New Folsom Beat Facility, okay? And 3 Block in Beat Facility back then was closed day education. So they only had one classroom for the whole prison, right? That was away from the cell blocks. And obviously, with 1,000 men on the yard, not going to get very many people in there, right? This was also during a time within the CDC where there was absolutely no thought of anyone ever going home. There were no programs offered. There was no rehabilitation offered. It was, you go to prison, you make your weapons, and you wait around for shit to jump off. That was the reality of prison back then, right? We had weights back then. But 3 Block, every day room, which for those of you that don't know, a 180 design prison has 3 day rooms. A 270 has 1, right? Because it's one big area. 180, you have walls in between every section, so you have 3 different sections. Every section had their own classroom. So I was assigned to 3 building B section. And I remember I had a visit scheduled, right? And if your visitors are coming from, I believe the rule was over 500 miles away, it's considered an emergency visit or special visit, something like that. So even if you're assigned to school because they came from such a far distance, you can be excused from your class, right? At this time, for those of you that are like, what are you talking about? So back then in New Folsom, visiting days were 4 days a week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can go out for all 4 days. My visitor was coming on Friday, right? I was in class, and I knew my visitor was there. And matter of fact, I think it was the tower cop that actually told me, hey, you have a visit. And I remember she popped the section door, and I went into the rotunda. I was like, what's up? She goes, you have a visit. I said, all right, let me get in my cell and get ready. And she said, nah, you're going to finish your class first. I said, what you mean I'm going to finish my class? My visitor came from over 500 miles away. I'm going to go get ready. She said, no, you're not. I want to say her name. I remember her name. She was a little tyrant. And so we got into an exchange of words. And she tried to threaten me, right? And, you know, I will say this. It's not wise to get into it with a tower cop because they're the ones that shoot when there's an incident. And you make an enemy out of the tower cop, you might get killed over a fist fight. There's no fist fighting, but just that's how petty it could be, right? So instead of her just letting me do my thing, she sent me to the program office. The sergeant wants to talk to me. I go down to the program office. I'm like, what's up? He said, oh, I heard you're causing a disturbance and this and this. I said, no. Check this out. I have a visit. My visitor's coming from here. Boop, boop, boop. I said, that's over 500 miles. I said, that fucking tower cop is creating this big old thing, has me coming down here to talk to you when she knows the damn rules. The sergeant was like, I didn't know your visitor was coming from that far away. I'll tell her to let you get your shower and send you to visit. No problem, right? So boom, I go back. I'm laughing at her though. Like, you sent me over there for nothing. You wasted both our time. Right? We get into words. I went, she wouldn't give me a shower, so I bird bathed. I got ready. Boom. I went to visit. And these are the games that get played in there, right? So this is what she did. We have in between every building. Well, so there's 1 and 2 building, right? There's a chow hall in between 1 and 2. 3 and 4 building. There's a chow hall in between. 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Everybody has, every 2 buildings, they have a chow hall in the middle to connect them, right? Kitchen workers, for the most part, they don't get paid. There is no pay numbers. Very few pay numbers. The cooks get pay numbers. The linebackers get pay numbers. The servers, I think maybe 1, I think maybe 2 line servers. I don't think the table wipes got that. So it's very few pay numbers, right? So what the COs would allow, to be fair, since you're over there really doing everything, the cops don't have to fucking do the self-feeding because you can go. Anyways, they would let you bring back usually 1 bag of food. Couldn't be overly excessive, but you can bring back 1 bag. And, you know, for some people, that was a hustle. You know, they'd make sandwiches or burritos, tacos, whatever, and sell them on the tier. For others, they didn't go to canteen. That was their food, you know. That tower cop knew that. She worked the mornings. And so the day after that incident, me getting a visit, and her not wanting me to go to the visit until she felt like it was cool. She was literally going to wait until 2 something to let me go to my visit. For what, 15 minutes? 30 minutes? And have my visitor sitting out there? A woman that went out of her way to drive over 500 miles to come and see me. Right? So because she thought the sergeant was going to check me, or I don't know what the fuck she thought that was going to do, and he corrected her, the next day, she waits until all the kitchen workers are ready to go back to the housing, back in our building, 3 building, and she tells all of them, throw your food away. Nothing's coming out of the chow hall, and you can thank your homeboy, and said my name. So automatically, like I said, you have people, that's their hustle. And she just created an issue because these dudes now are throwing food away. Some of these dudes use canteen products to make that food. And she made them throw all of their food away. The cops the floor cops are like, hey, you can't bring it in. So automatically, some of those kitchen workers, I don't even know about this. Keep this in mind. I don't know that she's done this. We go to yard, and some of those kitchen workers ran straight to the homie in charge. Hey, man, this dude's bringing heat to the pad. He's bringing heat to the building. We can't even bring shit out the chow hall. I'm not even aware. I'm kicking it. And then the homie calls me over, and he's like, hey, Holmes, let's take a lap. So we walk a lap, right? And he's like, hey, what's going on in your building, Holmes? What you mean, what's going on in the building? I don't even know what you're talking about. What do you mean? He said, hey, did you get into it with the Jura? And right then I knew. Some old bitch-ass gossiper, fake-ass convict came running to him. Mind you, I'm still a youngster. But I had been through YA. I already know. I'm like, I said, are you serious, Holmes? I go, vatos are coming to you saying that I'm bringing heat to the building that I got into with the Jura? And he's like, hey, Holmes, look, I need to find out, what's going on over there. I said, what's going on, Holmes, is I had a hyena come to see me. I had a chick come to see me. And she came from this far. And that Jura, and I ran him down the whole thing, right? And he's like, oh, hell nah. You're all good, Holmes. Don't even trip. Had that dude not been level-headed, he could have easily said, man, fuck this dude, and had me hit and set an example for everyone else. But what example would that have been? Don't argue with the cop. Let the cop punk you. Let the cop treat your visitors like shit. But that's the type of shit that goes on in there. That woman literally tried to get me hit. And over some petty ass state food and maybe a couple canteen items, you had these vatos that were supposedly somebody on the yard that knew what time it was, being thrown out the game, go run to another man. Not ask me, hey, Holmes, what happened between you and so-and-so, that Jura? And then I could tell him, oh, that fucking bitch tried to fucking punk me and my visitor, Holmes. I wasn't having that shit. No. They were worried about some petty ass bullshit and try to have me whacked over a cop. And again, I bring the story up because the cops don't ever stop playing games. Just like the convicts don't ever stop running games. It's a cat and mouse in there. Sometimes people don't want to hear both sides and they react. And violence occurs for nothing in there. Violence occurs out of boredom in there. There are people in there that enjoy watching other people get slaughtered on the yard. They really get off on it. It's a damn shame, man. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.